Hi, everybody. Okay, I'm Heather, and I'm hosting Study Abroad, which I did not name. Jake Gano named it that, but we're going to have some ladies on, so I guess you can study us, and it'll be Study Your Broads. But yeah, we're going to talk about students traveling abroad and studying abroad and certain aspects of it, the ups and downs. I mean, there's not really any downs, only ups. You should definitely do it, but there's definitely different ways to do it. So many different programs to go through. I know a ton of people watching go to ASU, so people need to know there's more options out there than just going through your university, and you also don't even have to just study abroad. You can just go backpacking. So I'm going to bring on one of my friends who has one of them. Tyler Norlander is coming all the way from Peru. So I'm going to bring her on just a moment. Let me find her. And she is not on quite yet. So we're going to bring on Alex Adams. She went to Spain. All right.
Hello.
Hi, Alex. How's it going?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good, thanks. So tell us about your study abroad trip.
Oh, geez, what about it? Besides that it was the greatest 6 months of my life, I don't know, I was in Madrid. I stayed with a family. I got really, really lucky because they were the greatest family ever. Traveled almost every weekend. Just picked up and went to random countries. It was great.
So what made you want to study abroad, and why did you choose Spain?
Well, I always wanted to study abroad. Ever since I heard about it, you know, I have an older brother, and some of his friends did it when I was in school, and that was basically my goal. It was a big part of my college selection, actually, was good study abroad programs. And I wanted to go to Spain because I wanted to be in Europe, and I wanted a Spanish-speaking country because that's the language I speak. And I wanted to become actually fluent in it, so that's why I chose Spain.
After going to Spain, would you say that you're pretty fluent in it, or you still aren't quite there?
I would say that I'm fluent. I'm pretty fluent. I wouldn't say I'm at like broadcast level to where I could go on a Spanish news station and broadcast in it, but I could basically get around and speak to anyone in the language.
So where is the best place to go in Spain?
Well, that really depends on who you are and what you're looking for. I went all over Spain. Obviously, you know, the city that everyone thinks of is Barcelona because it's very touristy and very famous for good reason. I went there. You know, it's great because as a beach, it's definitely, if you're a student, that's a great place to go if you're trying to party. But my favorite was in South Spain at the very tip. It's called Granada. It's also on the beach. It's just beautiful, and there's so much culture there. It was the last like Arab rule in Spain, and there's a lot of Arab influence, and I thought it was all fascinating.
Didn't you also go to Jordan? Is that right? Was that separately, or did you go did you go from Spain to Jordan?
No, I went to Jordan a summer and a half, I don't know, a year and a half before I went to Spain. I just got really lucky and made a really good friend in the dorm at ASU, and she, you know, her parents were in the American Embassy and traveled all over the Middle East, and they were in Jordan at the time, and she invited me to go, and I spent a month there, and it was incredible. It was like nothing there was the same as it is in America. I swear everything was different.
So tell us about packing. How do you pack for a 6-month trip? How do you pack for a 1-month trip? And I know it changes if you're studying abroad and if you're just traveling abroad. There's big differences. So how would you recommend to pack?
Well, pack how you were going to pack, and then take half of it out. A big thing that I thought, or that I realized was, I think that we dress very differently here in America, and especially ASU, because we're very, you know, kind of like a niche environment. We dress so differently. So when I got to Europe, really I couldn't wear half the clothes that I bought because they dress a lot more conservative than we do and a lot more fashion forward. So many of the things I brought were very, let's go out at night here at ASU, and they were very, very, very inappropriate to wear there. So I would pack for weather because it was very cold when I was there, and I'm not used to that. As far as Jordan went, I got lucky, and I had a friend that lived there, so she kind of told me what I needed to buy, but I had to buy a whole new wardrobe for that because I'm a girl and it's the Middle East, so I couldn't show my shoulders. I couldn't wear anything this low cut. I had to, cover my knees and wear pants. It was very different.
How'd you go about electronics? Did you take a phone over there with you, or did you take your laptop at all? Because I know I'm going to Europe this summer and I have no idea what to pack for electronics.
I took my laptop. I only ever used it at my homestay. And I took my phone, but I never really used it. It's scary because iPhones there are like gold. Everyone steals them in all of Europe. But no, I got this tiny little Nokia phone. It was like a paid month-by-month thing. And that's how I kept in contact with my friends over there.
All right, so you have to answer this question. Did you do a pub crawl? Anyway.
Yeah, I did a bunch of pub crawls.
So the answer is yes for pub crawls. Never deny it.
Never deny it. No, pub crawls actually teach you a lot about the city that you're in because you get a very local perspective. They're great.
Yeah. I did one in Italy and I was so happy I did it. You can see all the local places.
Yeah, and you get to learn a lot because bars are actually people don't realize, but they're pretty cultural. You learn a lot about the culture of that city.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So besides Spain, where else did you said you traveled a lot while you went to Spain. What places did you go visit on the weekends? I'm assuming is when you went.
Yeah, I went to Italy. We flew to Italy and then trained all through Italy. Went to Rome, Florence, Venice. I went to Paris. I went to a bunch of places in Belgium. I went to Germany, to Berlin, to Amsterdam, to London, all over Spain and France, and I think I covered them all very quickly.
So your top 3 places, if you could tell anyone to go somewhere, top 3 places.
Definitely Spain. I feel biased saying that, but I think that Spain is actually, it's a standout in Europe. It's different than the other countries because they're kind of behind the times in a good way. So a lot of their culture has been preserved because of that, especially Granada, and Madrid was obviously my favorite. And then I would say London and Amsterdam are tied for my second favorite. London is just, so urban. It's a very big city environment. I love that. And then Amsterdam is Amsterdam, and it's beautiful, and there's so much to do.
So Amsterdam is all it's up to be. It's not just a bunch of talk.
I swear it's not. Everyone thinks that, but go there no matter your interests, no matter what you want to get out of it. It's gorgeous, and there's history, and the people are probably the best part. Everyone is so nice. There's something about the Dutch that they're just great people to be around.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much. Is there any other lessons or tips that you can give people?
No, I mean, definitely download an app on your phone that translates languages if you're going to go to Europe, or anywhere in the world, I guess. And then other than that, the only thing that's universal is smiling. So just smile everywhere you go.
Thank you so much, Alex.
You're welcome.
All right. We're going to bring in Tyler. She's coming all the way from Lima, Peru, I believe. So she's 2 hours ahead of us, and so she stayed up till 11 p.m. to come talk to all of us. All right, just waiting for her. Hey, Tyra.
Hola!
Hola.
How are you?
Good. How about yourself?
How are you, Heather?
Good.
Good.
So
This is my roommate, Mary.
Hi.
where is
How are
Mary
you?
from in the state?
Sit out.
Okay, she's going to bed. We have early flight in the morning.
I was going in the morning in Peru.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Where are you guys going in the morning?
We're going to Cusco. We're going to Machu Picchu this weekend.
How far
We're
is
going to
Machu Picchu
Cusco.
from Lima?
We have to take a flight, and I believe it is, let's see, it's only an hour and 10 minutes. If we were to drive, it would probably take like 15 to 20 hours because of the road. They're pretty, treacherous.
Wow. So Machu Picchu, that's like a huge landmark in Peru. Am I right?
It's, probably the biggest and most well-known, maybe in South America, I don't know, as far as history and history of civilizations goes.
So do you know anything about Machu Picchu before you're going?
Sorry. Do I know anything about Machu Picchu? No, not that much. I just know that it's pretty cool, and there's a lot of good culture in Cusco. I've heard a lot of good things about Cusco, not only Machu Picchu. And every time I've told somebody, oh, I'm going to Cusco this weekend, they say everything that you can do there, and how the nightlife is amazing, and the people are really cool there. The culture is awesome. Cusco is not only just Machu Picchu to the locals here. So I'm really excited to see Cusco because I didn't think it was going to be as cool as Machu Picchu was, but I'm excited about it.
So what made you choose South America? That's not a typical place that you hear about college students studying abroad at. Most people go to Europe. You don't hear Peru too often.
Yeah, I chose Peru because I have a few friends that are Peruvian back home. So and one of them has a cousin who lives here who I actually met a few years ago, and we were good friends we were really good friends, and it's nice I get to see him again, and we're hanging out a lot, and also the culture. I think that going to Peru was a really standout country for me because it was a mix of there's urban and it's urban enough and it's updated enough, but there's also this really strong native culture that is still here and very active and very much embraced and accepted. So it's really fun. It's really cool to see the old culture and where Peru came from and how it's transforming today, because it's really turning into a metropolitan city here in Lima, and just seeing how people's ideologies are changing with the new times, and the economy is getting better, and people are having more business aspect, and so you get a good play on different situations here wherever you go. It's really cool.
Great. All right, I brought in Claire right here because I know she's planning on traveling, and she has traveled before. So Claire, where have you gone?
After my senior year, I went on this month-long extravaganza to Italy, Germany, Austria, London, France, and Switzerland. So that was really cool.
Wow. So would Peru be something you're interested in? I know it's a little bit different than all of those places.
Actually, I'm going to Brazil in May for a journalism trip. So I'm really excited about that. Are you going to Brazil at all?
That's good. I just went to Brazil.
What did you
I just was there last month. Well, I was in Brasilia, so I'm not sure where you're planning on going, but I was very caught off by Brazil, to be honest. It was not anything I expected it to be. I thought it would be, just anything that
everybody else thinks that Brazil would be like hot, and everybody walks around with like tank tops and short shorts, and it's Brazil, and everybody's having a good time. And but in Brasilia, it's very traditional. Not so like it's not traditionally like, and it's not boring, but it's very traditional and almost like religious, and very conservative. People are wearing like European style clothes. People are very into like the trends and what's expensive, what's not. The food's really good, which is really nice, and it's kind of like a mix of cultures between Europe, America, and Latin America last, but they don't like to consider themselves as Latin Americans, because they kind of look down on Latin Americans, which is kind of weird. But I mean, I had a great time there, but it definitely felt like I was in Europe for sure.
So people aren't running around in sequin bikinis, because that's literally what I think Brazil is.
Well, I think in Rio and like other places on the northeast beaches are a little bit more like that, but everybody's wearing designer clothes. A lot of people try to be very fashionable, have designer purses, things like that. So it's I mean, I found it to be very European based off of like wherever else I've traveled, and they don't really embrace their traditional culture that much, because they've kind of forgotten about it. Whereas in Peru, they've completely embraced it and try to practice the traditions that still go on and happened many years ago.
So I have to ask you, I hear it's very biker friendly in Peru, and I know everywhere else in Europe it's the same way. Over here we give bikers room and pedestrians have the right of way, but correct me if I'm wrong, in most places in Europe, you don't really have the right of way. Like if there's a car coming, you just need to move.
In Peru, people do not have the right of way here sometimes if they're not paying attention. But yeah, it's not like America, that, you know, cars have to stop for people. They will if you're lucky. But yeah, you just gotta be careful here with that kind of stuff.
So at
the same time, which is good, they don't care about jaywalking or anything. So if it's clear in the road, who, Peruvians?
Yes. Like, is it how
Where
in Europe?
what country are you talking about?
Or in Peru.
Oh yeah, I didn't expect the nightlife to be this good, but people go out almost every single night of the week. It's really fun, and I've been to some really high-end classy clubs, and then I've been to some really cool salsa dancing clubs and some bars and everything. So they have everything under the sun here, and people don't overdrink here like they do in America. There's no last call or anything, so people can stay at the bars like 12 in the afternoon the next day if they want. It's really cool, and people are really celebratory here. And last week we had a game against Peru had a game against Chile, and we won, which is very rare because Peru never wins in soccer. And the streets were ridiculous. Like people swarmed the streets. I saw pictures of like my friends being held like on the top of like people were holding them up in the air and things like that. It was crazy, and my friend was on the news and it was so cool. But I mean, they do like to celebrate and go out here a lot. I did not think about it being so lively here before I came.
Oh, that sounds.
Chris said he went to Argentina. Have either of you guys been there?
I haven't.
No, I have not been there, and yeah, I don't know if I plan on going there. So we'll see.
Why is that?
I'm really trying to go to Chile. Because I've been to Europe before, and I was much younger, but I think that I naturally gravitate towards South American culture, and I've heard that Argentina is very European influenced, as is Brazil. So I loved Brazil, but I mean, and I plan on going back. I hope I can go back, but I don't appreciate European culture as much as I do South American culture, because European culture is more similar to America. So I like a very much like change in pace, and that's what a lot of South American countries offer, whereas Brazil and Argentina don't really.
So do you have any packing tips specific for Peru or just for South America in general, as opposed to traveling somewhere else in the world? Is there something different?
Packing tips. I would say, let's see. I think, well, South America in general for girls, it's, you know, you may have experienced this, but when boys call at you and gawk and things like that, it's very uncomfortable, where it's much more common, especially for gringos. So if you want to avoid that, then I would say to bring a lot more pants than you would shorts. Although in some places, like in Peru, it's completely acceptable to wear the same shorts that we wear in America. But if you were to go to Brazil with those shorts, then you would be frowned down upon for wearing short shorts. So it depends where you go, definitely, but long pants, a safe way to go. And make sure you bring a reusable water bottle, because here you have to buy water bottles everywhere. So if you fill up, I fill up at my house before I go to school or at offices and put in my own water bottle than having to buy water everywhere.
Claire, was it like that for you in Europe?
You had to pay for water a lot. Like, we know how in restaurants you can just order a glass of water. You can't do that in Europe. Like, it was the weirdest thing. But so I don't really remember any place that we could fill up water bottles, but we were really
you cannot do that here either.
I remember when I was in Cyprus. Cyprus is like a little country below Greece, west of Turkey. Actually, east of Turkey, east of Greece, below Turkey. You can't get water anywhere. You can't drink tap water unless it's from your house. And if you do, people think you're going to die from drinking the tap water. But it's totally fine. I was told many times that I was going to die from drinking tap water. But you're right. Anywhere you go, you're paying money just to have water. I mean, you might as well just buy a beer, right?
I actually had to pay for a bathroom in Italy once, and it was like the worst thing ever because I didn't have any change, and I had to pee like really bad.
I heard that you're supposed to pay for bathrooms. You get to bring a lot of change with you.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's common here. Yeah.
Who wants to carry change? Like, I don't want to carry change. It's ridiculous.
The nice thing about Italy, though, is that they have fountains everywhere that you can actually drink from. So that's always nice.
Yeah, true that.
Yeah. All right, so Claire, where else did you say that you have gone to?
I went to Germany, France, London, Switzerland. Switzerland's beautiful, by the way. You can hike. We hiked an Alp. It was really hard, and it was long.
I'm going there this summer. I'm excited.
You are?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
For a few days. Switzerland, Amsterdam, like 8 different countries, but not Germany. That's not on the list.
Are you just going to travel, or like going for fun?
I'm going through this thing called EF College Break, and it's for students who, if you ever want to backpack but you don't really have the tools, you don't really know how to go backpacking, like I have no idea how to do that myself, this program sets you up with kids that are around your age, and you have a tour guide, and they take you all throughout Europe, or you can go to South America, I think, or Australia. So you're basically backpacking, but it's programmed for you. Like, they have everything set in place. So that's the program that I'm going with this summer. Last summer I went with global learning semesters, which was great. Claire, what program did you use to travel?
My high school just set it up. It was like our big senior year trip, and so after we graduate, like I think literally like 2 days after we graduated, we all got on a plane to London, and we just set it up from there.
And Tyler, you went through ISA?
Wow, that's so cool.
No, it was literally just
international studies abroad. But 2 years ago.
What's up?
Oh, Tyler, so you went through ISA, right?
No. For my high school just set it up. The ones I'm going through ASU to go to Brazil this year, and then probably through CIE.
Yeah, the experience I've ever had.
So Claire, the one through ASU, you guys are doing journalistic work while you're over there?
Excuse me?
You guys are doing journalism while you're in Brazil through ASU?
Yeah, I guess we're going to a bunch of different businesses, and the way we just came back from an LA trip where we just like ran around to a bunch of entertainment corporations, so I'm assuming we're doing the same thing, and we're all gonna we're each gonna do like a piece, and then we're gonna put it together on the Reynolds site, and it's gonna be like a really big, cool like package on our trip to Brazil. So
awesome.
That'll be really fun.
Do either of you have any tips, advice to give people who are looking to study abroad or just travel abroad as students?
Don't bring your entire closet. I'm an overpacker, and it's absolutely the worst.
Heather.
But
yeah, I'm the same way. I twice as much.
Happens too.
Thank God.
Is Heather frozen for you?
My overweight bag on my trip to LA.
Yeah, it was. All right, thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Bye, guys. Enjoy Peru. Bye. Be safe. Have a good trip.
Good night. Bye.
All right, guys.
Thank you. I will.
All right, next is going to be Eric Davis, and he'll have your hip-hop pit stop. So see you back here in 3 minutes, and you'll have Eric Davis.